Hi and welcome back to Classic MGB. Now, we get a lot of viewers that are thinking about buying an MGB, so we thought it would be interesting to take a look at a few that are currently for sale in the UK. It would be great to expand this beyond the UK, so if any of our international viewers fancy selecting a few reputable sources, we'd love to include a few non-UK cars. If this feature proves popular, we'll make it into a regular feature, but please remember we haven't inspected any of the cars we feature and certainly can't recommend them. We always advise that you should inspect any potential purchase really thoroughly, and if you're not confident in doing this, then get an expert along. Both the MG Car Club and MG Owners Club offer great advice for potential buyers. Some may charge, but it's normally worth it as it could avoid a very expensive mistake. As the saying goes, do as I say and not as I did. We've tried to include cars from a variety of sources and from both dealers and private sellers, and the information was current when this video was published. We've purposely not included contact details for the vendors, but have instead included links to the appropriate websites. This avoids vendors getting calls long after the car is sold. Now, winter is traditionally a quiet time for many classic car enthusiasts. A lot of MGB owners in the Northern Hemisphere have already put their cars away to be brought out again in spring. But winter can be a great time to buy an MGB. Yes, there aren't as many available, but those that are often good value as prices tend to increase in spring, especially for Roadsters. So here's a selection of MGBs that are currently on the market on a variety of websites that have caught our eye. Now, if you were to ask the average person in the UK where they'd start searching for a car, they'd probably say the Auto Trader website. And in my naivety, that's where I started when I bought my MGB-GT. But it's not necessarily the best place to find a good classic. But nevertheless, let's start there. A quick search revealed 38 cars ranging from just under £6,000 to over £28,000 for an MGB Roadster. These prices all look a bit strong, but let's see what you can get for $12,995. Well, this teal blue example was first registered on the 1st of July 1972 and is offered by a private seller based in Canterbury in Kent. The description states that the car has just 26,500 warranted miles on the clock from new. It has a very thorough history with records including a purchase invoice, passport to service book with some early dealer stamps, and a long list of invoices and MOTs which prove the mileage of the car is accurate. Apparently it's been in the same family since 1973 and has clearly not been used a great deal. The description goes on to state that the interior is all original and the carpets, dashboard and other trim is in super condition, as is the engine bay and underside. So, on the face of it, this appears to be a superb example of a 1972 MGB Roadster. So that's Auto Trader. There are cars available, but perhaps a better source of MGBs is the specialist press, and one of the most popular is Classic Car Weekly, that always has pages of classics available for sale. A quick look through the latest issue shows several MGBs. Of course, with classified adverts you usually get much less information than on other sites, but nevertheless, this 1973 MGB Roadster in Harvest Gold caught our eye. Again, the car has been family owned from new, and MOT certificates are available to prove the mileage of just 46,000 is accurate. The ad does say that it's been recently reconditioned, which may suggest it may have been off the road for a while, and this work appears to have included new suspension bushes and refurbished wheels. PAS or power assisted steering has been added, which undoubtedly makes it more drivable, but does reduce originality if that's your bag. Cars up for sale at a shade under £10,000. For those wanting to do a bit more work, how about this 1972 part restored example, which apparently has covered a little over 42,000 miles and has had £7,500 spent on it. Not many details on this one, and at £2,500 this will need a really detailed inspection before any purchase. It is worth remembering that unless you can do all the work yourself, it's nearly always cheaper to buy a fully restored MGB than paying a professional to do the work, as the labour costs soon mount up. Staying with classified adverts, both the MG clubs have sections on their websites to allow members to sell their cars. These can be a really good source of MGBs, as most club members really cherish their cars and know a lot about them. So let's take a look at an example from each site. Firstly, the MG Car Club site. They simply reproduce the classified page of the club's magazine, Safety Fast, that shows cars for sale. When we filmed this, there weren't many cars available and no chrome bumper MGBs at all. Nevertheless, this white 1978 Roadster looked to be interesting. Yes, it's a rubber bumper, which doesn't appeal to everyone, but it's got just 37,000 miles on the clock and is apparently completely original. It's got an MOT until June 2026 and a detailed history from 1991 when the current owner bought the car. It's only been used in dry summer weather for the last 25 years apparently, and it's for sale for just £7,500. Looking at the MG Owners Club site, one interesting thing is that the club protects advertisers from scams by responding to the initial contact from inquirers, although the approximate location of the car is shown. With online scams at an all-time high, this is a reassuring service provided free of charge by the club. The site has a lot of cars available, and the list can be filtered by model, so only MGBs can be selected. Another feature of the site is that each car has a condition attached to it based on a standard guide where condition 1 is exceptional and condition 5 is in need of major restoration. Full details are on the website, but it's worth remembering that the condition isn't an objective assessment and is based on the owner's view. This recently listed 1973 Roadster looked interesting. The car's covered 113,000 miles from new, although a new engine was fitted at 89,000 miles. And it has been fully reconditioned, including a new hood. As there's only a single image which doesn't show the whole car, it's difficult to make any assessment of its condition. But as the advert stated that it is condition 2, it should include photographic or documentary evidence of restoration. Of course, as with all cars featured, a thorough inspection should reveal any issues. Now, so far we've looked at private sales, but what about the specialist dealers? More often than not, dealer prices do tend to be a bit higher than private sellers as they have overheads and other costs, but they do also offer warranties and some come back in case of problems. A couple of years ago, we visited one of the largest MGB dealers in the country, Former Glory, and there's a video on that which we'll link in the description. Looking at the website, it's likely that Nigel Gill, the owner of Former Glory, understands the market, so as it's winter, the site is dominated by MGB-GTs rather than Roadsters. The company offers all MGs, although the majority are MGBs, and the site can be filtered to show only MGBs. This 1971 Roadster finished in bronze yellow caught our eye. The description states that it's an older restoration, but it's in excellent order with correct sills and structure. The car has mini light wheels, black leather seats and a mohair hood. Under the bonnet, the engine's been rebuilt and has the desirable overdrive fitted. At £10,950, this could be worth a closer look, especially when you factor in the backup from a company that's been in business since 1986. There's also a gallery of sold MGBs, although unsurprisingly, prices they sold for aren't included. Another dealer we visited was Midlands Classic Motors, based in King Swinford in the West Midlands. Again, the video is linked in the description. They have a nice modern website with lots of information about the cars, loads of images, and it has a really good feature that allows a printable PDF brochure with comprehensive information of the car to be produced. We picked this 1972 Roadster in teal blue with just over 56,000 miles on the clock. It has a new alternator, fuel pump, distributor and carpets, and accessories that include electronic ignition, LED headlights, a Revitec electric fan and a motor litre steering wheel. The car's up for £13,499. All cars supplied by the company are fully serviced and come with a 12-month MOT, a 3-month warranty and free UK delivery, so overall a good package, and several customers have contacted us recommending them. I should add that we've got no affiliation with either of the dealers featured and have received no payment from them for showing them in this video. So there you go, a quick roundup of a few cars that you can buy now, assuming they haven't sold since we filmed this episode. I should restate that we don't recommend any of these cars and have no idea of condition beyond what was contained in the adverts. Nevertheless, if we were in the market for a nice Roadster, we'd be looking at them in more detail. Do let us know what you think of this Market Watch feature in the comments and whether you'd like us to make it a regular feature, possibly showing more cars. As I mentioned at the start, we'd love to feature some cars from outside the UK, so do let us know any good sources in other countries. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed the video, we'd really appreciate it if you'd give it a like, share it with anyone that's interested, and also subscribe to the channel because it really does help the YouTube algorithm get our content to new viewers. As always, many thanks for watching and take care.